Bonjour, je m'appelle Léon Foucault. I'm a French physicist known for my experiments with a pendulum in 1851. So I went to demonstrate Earth's rotation. So I got a 67-meter wire and a 28-kilogram iron ball and created a pendulum from that. I expected to see the pendulum swing in the same path unless a force was acted upon it, which I ensured did not happen, especially with my careful release. However, I did notice the pendulum went through a 360-degree rotation over time, and it took about 32 hours. So this told me that the Earth was rotating beneath the pendulum and caused that change. Yeah, so as I stated before, I wanted to demonstrate and provide evidence that the Earth was rotating around an axis. Now, the idea that Earth was rotating around an axis was nothing new at the time. However, we only had far removed evidence and observations from stars that gave us that idea. Yeah, so this experiment occurred in Paris, France at the Pantheon, but now there are hundreds of Foucault pendula around the world. Wow, great question. So, something's happening around that time were the Australian gold rush. There was also the Great Flood of 1851 in the Midwest of the United States, and the Great Exhibition in England was also happening. So, mine did take place early in the year, but also nothing specific around that time made it happen or made me specifically go after this experiment. Yeah, so I was the main physicist in this experiment. However, the knowledge that had come before me, such as Newton's first law, helped me really build the experiment and know that I could create an apparatus here on Earth that shows Earth's rotation around an axis. Since there was no one helping me with this experiment, I played all the roles, and I wanted to make sure that the public knew about Earth's rotation. That's why I secured a spot at the Pantheon and used their high dome to ensure my pendulum was large and showed the motion, thus showing Earth's motion. So the main impact of my experiment was that I gave concrete evidence about Earth's rotation. Now I want to emphasize the idea that Earth was rotating was nothing new at the time. However, all of our evidence was far removed observations about space. Also, my experiment showed that different parts of the Earth would affect the experiment. So if you were at the North or South Pole, it would take 24 hours for the pendulum to go through a 360-degree rotation. However, when I did it in Paris, France, it took 32 hours. And that is just dependent on where you are. At the equator, it won't spin at all. Very interesting. Now, I can't speak for every pendulum in the world, but most facilities that house Foucault pendula use an electromagnetic kick or like a drive to keep the pendula going. Since everyone wants to see the full 360-degree rotation, it has to keep moving, but forces like air resistance would stop that motion after some time. So using the electromagnetic drive keeps it going without disturbing the direction or the motion. Thank you for taking your time to listen to me. Au revoir.